So it turns out that leading a group of protesters to storm a church isn't a smart move after all. Who knew? Because now 3 of the lead individuals, ladies and gentlemen, have been arrested. And the message from the Trump administration is crystal clear, with Pam Bondi making it plain. They're done playing the games. This isn't about politics anymore. No, it's about law, order, and consequences. And for the people who thought that they could just create chaos without paying a price, the bill just came due.
Good. See, they're getting the operation together. Again, this is an operation that is secret, that they invited folks out. Can't tell you what is going to happen, but you're going to watch it live unfold here on the Don Lemon Show. There are for this reason, it may look like MAGA coded, but there's a reason they have so many white people here. I'm just going to be honest. It's because of the operation that they're doing today. It's important to have allies, as they said, white allies here. So that is what I could say. I turned our camera off of them because they're giving some critical information here. But there we go. Everybody's ready to go. Thank you guys for allowing me to be here. Thank you guys.
Okay.
How are you?
Good.
Good to see you. We're on. We're not saying what it is, what's going on, but thank you. Tell us why you're doing this.
So
this is Nakima Levy Armstrong. She's on the show on Friday.
Levy Armstrong, civil rights attorney, longtime activist here in the community. And, we protest and do activism in all kinds of ways. This is Operation Pull Up, more of a clandestine operation. We show up somewhere that is a key location. They don't expect us to come there. And then we disrupt business as usual. So that's what we're about to go do right now. We've had a lot of success with the times we have done Operation Pull Up.
Hold on, bro. So these people are planning on pulling up to a church.
Yes. They're getting paid.
They plan on it. They did it.
Who's paying them?
They did it.
No, but yeah, right there they were planning it. And this is it.
Yes.
Okay. All right, bro. Before we see this, guys, I'm about to get upset.
Before I say this, it's crazy that we haven't seen no other religious group.
No other religion. They're not playing with any other religion like that.
Renee Good! Renee Good! Renee Good! Renee Good! Renee Good! Don't shoot! 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 Shame! Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are your people? Why are you not at Whipple every day fighting for the humanity?
A number of people have left. There are some who are still sitting here.
You okay with the injustice that's happening within your city?
What do you think of this?
I mean, this is unacceptable. It's shameful. It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship.
But there were folks who will say,
I have to take care of my flock.
Okay, but listen, we live there's a Constitution and the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble and protest.
Yeah. We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ.
I want to go to something Matt Walsh put up here because he doesn't hold back. Today, Don Lemon and a group of leftist agitators stormed the church service to protest ICE. This is a direct and flagrant violation of the FACE Act, which the Biden administration used to throw pro-lifers in federal prison for years. Don Lemon and his co-conspirators should be facing federal prison. The Trump administration must announce those charges immediately. He also went on to say that I want Don Lemon dragged out of his house by a SWAT team at gunpoint. That's what Biden did to pro-lifers. Time to make these scumbags play by the same rules. Force feed them a dose of their own medicine for once.
Had that been a mosque, they wouldn't have ran up in there. I just seen the craziest video of people protesting ICE, and they ran in a church service while people were worshiping, protesting ICE because one of the pastors at the church or one of the clergy members worked for ICE. I don't care what religion it is. whether it's Muslim, whether it's Buddhist, whether it's Jewish. If people are actively worshiping, something need to be sacred. Just because you don't believe in God doesn't mean that you get to trample on people's belief and trample on their sacred worship service. You don't have to be the most religious person in the world to know that, number one, it's illegal. Number two, it's off limits. And
I just couldn't believe what I was watching. I couldn't believe that they were willing to monetize that, that they were willing to lean into that as their cause or the thing that they were going to be more fervent about. And people are not outraged. I think that if you are a person that goes to church at any point or you have any respect for the church, I'm just amazed that even black people is just quiet about this. I mean, I know that they quiet about a lot of things and they don't agree with a lot of things, but I'm surprised that they quiet about this, because it's like, if y'all are willing to let these people disrespect this, what makes you think that they're not going to go all the way to the left? That they won't just go all the way. At this point, they might as well just tear a statue of Jesus down. And she's right. They don't do this in other places. They don't do this in mosques. They don't do it in synagogues. They don't even go and disrespect some of the devil worshipers. I don't see nobody protesting none of that over there. But let it come to Christians. Let it come to Christianity. Let it come to the church. Let it come to Christ. Let it come to Jesus. Let it come to God. Then all of a sudden, it's okay. Don Lemon can run in there with a microphone. There's certain places and certain things that you don't do when it comes to what you think is meaningful to you. And this is the key part of it. It's off limits, and it's not even a peaceful protest. They were in there putting microphones in people's faces based off of their assumption. Nothing has been substantiated. Nobody can prove it. Nobody has actually been able to say this person or that person or whatever, so on and so forth. I've heard that the person that they was coming after may not even went there, or if they are there, they was there 7-8 years ago or something. They didn't do this under Obama. They didn't do this under Obama, but they feel comfortable doing it in the church. And they don't know any bounds, and it's nothing that they won't do.
They didn't have any illegal. That just shows who's truly the fool in the situation, and that it is good and evil. Like we say, this is a spiritual battle, and this is, to me, this right here, this specific example, this is not no right or left. This is good versus evil, straight up.
I think this is a lot more about the people who are in the streets fighting. These white liberals are very problematic. They're very trouble causing. Like everywhere they go, there's always an issue. They're just looking for people to attack and berate because you're not aligning yourself with their wild views. Like now you're mad at people who peacefully chose to go to church and do their thing because they're not fighting and fighting for people obstructing the law. It's truly ridiculous. I just don't understand this at all.
I agree. And the fact that there's a lot of people that call themselves Christians that were, I know people that were raised in a church, raised in a Pentecostal church, raised in evangelism, raised in the Baptist church, and they still go to those churches. I know of churches that actually still vote Democrat, and they have named themselves liberals. I know of churches that has let some of the most liberal people actually come up on the pulpit and pitch to the congregation about who should be in office and then getting involved in politics. I know people that continue to vote Democrat despite the fact that they call themselves conservatives, whether with their money or with their household. And they stand for this. They allow for this type of happen. They'll sit there and they'll jump on their platforms and they'll have all of these conversations, but they don't say nothing when you see this type of stuff happen inside of the church. They silent whispers.
So Don Lemon and his gaslighting finally crossed the line. You know, it was irritating enough this smug, obnoxious jerk goes down the street with his little microphone and gaslights people he interviews with disinformation, calling himself an independent journalist. But he crossed the line now. This man and a mob of nuts purposely and willfully walked into a house of worship while people were worshiping, praying to God, listening to a message, engaged in their sacred traditions. A Christian church, mind you, and walked in there and disrupted it. And Don, don't you try to distance yourself from it, because initially I was like, is he doing journalism? And then I saw the footage before you went in. supported what was happening. You celebrated what was happening. You kissed that crazed activist professor on the cheek. She's a law professor and she doesn't know about the FACE Act? Who the hell is she professing over? The FACE Act clearly states that you cannot disrupt a religious service because you're violating their rights. Don, you supported it. Don't sit there and act like you were distant from it. You were as much of a part of it as that activist in that group where you were giddy about it.
They won't even.
Y'all, this is so pathetic on a whole different level. And to see Don Lemon in there, cheering on the protesters, because that's what he's doing. He's behind the scenes fanning the flames, y'all. That's what he's doing. And then he's saying, if these two groups could figure it out. How can they figure it out? He's talking about how it's divided and if they could figure it out. The reason why there's a division is it's because of people like you. These people didn't create a division. They're minding their own business, and y'all came in there to disrupt these people. Who's creating a division? And then he's there saying, what about the freedom to protest or whatnot? Yeah, they talk about the freedom to protest until you begin to protest their nasty living, gay marriage, all that stuff that they believe in, love is love and this and that and that. When you begin to protest that same-sex LGBT stuff, then it's a problem. But it should be totally okay for you to accept and embrace them coming into your church and freely protesting. This is what I'm talking about. Don Lemon has gotten himself in some deep stuff doing this. He's behind it. Don't tell me, well, there was a group of people, who knew about it and he got invited and he's not a part of the protest. This man is a part of the protest and he's in this church getting content.
These people have come into our house and they've interrupted our worship. This is a house of peace and we try to proclaim that. And this stirs division and rancor. And in the end, it's not helpful. Ultimately, I believe they've lost. They've emptied a house of worship. Everybody's gone home. Their point has been proven worthless. And so, in the end, I think they lose.
Administration and the fake news magas are losing their mind over something that's not even true.
Oh, no, sir. This ain't got nothing to do with MAGA. This got everything to do with you taking your faggot in that church and harassing people like that. Now you want to circle back and act like, oh, well, I'm in no affiliation association. No. You are in 110% corroboration with the Democratic Party that is causing more and more and more problems. You, by the way, who keeps saying that white people are devils, but you married to a white man. So does that make you the devil's broad? I'm trying to understand, what is it exactly that you are doing and what is it exactly that you want us to think that you're doing? You are opposition to any and everything that is successful in this country. Anything that is trying to get this country together, you are in direct opposition of. But then you want to come back and try to play victim. No. You're not a victim, Don. You are not a victim. You are 100% guilty of all the shit that you have already done. And then you keep doing it. Then you keep doing it. Then you want us to come in and talk about, oh, well, it's the news. It's the news. You're a damn journalist yourself. Listen, people, I keep trying to tell you, we're doing a complete separation. If you are not a melanated American, if you are not one of our non-melanated cousins, all y'all can get out. Even the people that were born here. If you do not like this country, and Don, you got plenty of money, take your somewhere else. You and your husband. Why don't you go somewhere? Where is all the rest of these people? Where did what's the name? The white lady that had the TV show. Go with Portia. Go on Ellen DeGeneres. Why don't you go be neighbors with Ellen and them? Just get the out.
Get out the country. Get out the country. You don't like the country. You don't love your country, man. Get out the country. You know, did Oprah leave yet? Because I thought Oprah was planning on leaving, and she was. Look, y'all need to just leave the country and don't come back. Give up your citizenship. Give up your birthright. Everything. Don't do it halfway. Don't say, "Well, I'm going to move to the next country, but I'm still going to keep." No, because what happens is when you go to those countries and stuff goes left, then you want to come back to the United States. And Don Lemon, now we're getting to see the reason why CNN fired him. Look, I had never thought I would say this about Don Lemon, but Don Lemon is a piece of SHIT for being a part of that group that went up in that church to disrupt service.
Nobody is above the law. Nobody's above the law.
Alert, journalist Don Lemon has been arrested in connection with an anti-ICE protest at a church in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Make no mistake, under President Trump's leadership and this administration, you have the right to worship freely and safely. And if I haven't been clear already, if you violate that sacred right, we are coming after you.